Today's card of the day is Magma Opus. 6 generic, a blue and a red for an instant with Magma Opus deals 4 damage, divided as you choose among any number of target permanents. Tap 2 target permanents, create a 4/4 blue, red, and elemental creature token, draw 2 cards, and then also for Izzet and Izzet, discard Magma Opus to create a treasure token. This card is really sick. Can we mention that it has like cool freezing, maybe burning elephant running at you? And it really does feel like you hit a truck, or I guess an elephant in this case, when someone plays this against you. There's just a lot of value to have in this card. In standard, this card usually is just like a 5 mana creature that also happens to be a Gear Hulk that does all this on this text, which is interesting to say the least. In Commander, it also is a nice little value engine if you can cast it from your graveyard without having to pay that mana cost, because that is a cost. That is a mana cost. And the standard, the ramification of this card is you're probably going to lose. This does 4 damage, so think of any 4-drop. Chances are that it's not going to have 4+ life, and so this is probably, for toughness is probably generally around, depending on the creature of course, 3 mana or 3 mana. So this plus the ability to tap 2 target permanents, that's probably, well, tapping target permanents is a little more costly nowadays, but it's generally around 2 mana. White can tap creatures for about 2 mana. Being blue, it generally has the luxury of doing most things that white can do more efficiently and having more options at doing it. So it's about 2 mana, so it's 5 mana-ish total worth of value. Then you create a 4/4, and seeing that there's a lesson that gives you a 4/4, but because it has a lesson tag, it probably costs 1 more mana. That's 4 extra mana worth of value. And on top of that, you draw 2 cards. So this obviously, if if my calculations show anything, not that they're that good, this card is a lot of value. This is a lot of value. And hitting this on turn 5 means generally, like, and you're playing against a control deck, yeah, you're probably over. You're getting hit with a blue-red elemental every turn, and you're not being able to cast any more spells. It's gravy. I think the best thing about this card that really enables it is the fact that you can discard it. Because if you couldn't discard it, this would not be a deck that would be played. But because you can, and it creates this opportunity to let you create your tokens so that you can cast your Hulk in order to cast this from your graveyard, just, it's so good. It's so good. And you can sort of take that sort of calculation that I did and bring it to EDH as well. Granted, it is a 7 mana spell, or 8 mana spell. There are a lot of ways you can win the game. And while value is one of them, usually value isn't going to be the single only thing that wins you game. And because the cost of playing a Gear Hulk in EDH isn't as strong as playing in a single player format, just because there are so many other targets you have to worry about as well, you're not going to run away with the game. And that's fine. I think it's really nice to have this if you're playing a bunch of dirty shenanigans, playing spells from a graveyard sort of deck, maybe an Izzet deck. I can see this card being a little better because you can discard it and it happens to be in your graveyard. And so if you can cast it from your graveyard for free or by some other means that makes it cheaper than its costs, this is just free value that cantrips and also creates a creature, which is notoriously pretty good. You have cards like Flametongue Kavu, which are like super good. And this sort of does that, but better. So take that how you will. Take that how you will. If you play Glorybringer, if you play Ravenous Chupacabra, this is very much like that, but also replaces itself. It creates tempo, controls the board. It literally does everything. That's really all I have to say about this card. If you get it, you should probably play it. And I wonder how this works in limited. So much I don't play limited. I guess this is like a haymaker if you play limited, although it does require you to draw half your lands, if I'm not mistaken. So at least a little less than half your land, so it could be kind of spicy and limited. I could see that. Yeah, this is a decent card. The only thing I could see, reason why I wouldn't play it as much in EDH is because you're playing Izzet, and there's so much more easier ways of winning the game, and if you're not playing a value oriented game, and while value is nice, if you're playing Izzet, it's nice to just win, right? Like why have value when you can just win? So that's a thing. In standard, yeah, this is gonna win you the game. This is a nice little win con that I guess it even sort of enables itself because of the create treasure token clause, which is nice too. That's really all about it. All I have to say about this card. What do you guys think about this card? Obviously, it's good. I'm not even gonna ask you guys if it's good, but would you play it in your like Izzet or blue and red, X and X, whatever colors are in your commander's mana cost? Would you play this in your commander deck? I'm kind of curious. Like I feel like this is a lot of value, but it's super gated by its CMC, and I feel like there's better things to be doing in Izzet, Izzet X if you're playing Commander. But I'd be interested in what you guys have to say about this. Anyways, let me guys know in the comment section below. Yeah, let me know. Peace out.